Torah portion. The Torah portion, Vayigash. We are in the third reading. Let us begin.
Amen.
Oh, all right. So we are in Bereshis, Genesis chapter 45, verse number 8. We continue. Yosef has revealed himself as the brother, the long-lost brother. Long-lost brother. And so he continues. The brothers were a little astonished, or quite astonished. And so now he continues in verse number 8. It says, Ata, now, Layatim shalachtim, you did not send me. I see me, Hena, there. You didn't send me there, meaning to Egypt. Ki ha'elikim, but God. God's the one who sent me. Yasimeni la'av leparai, and he placed me as a father to Parai. La'adain, and to a master l'chol beisai, to his entire home. L'maishel, and as a ruler, l'chol eretz Mitzrayim, in the whole land of Egypt. What does it mean? Why does he say a father? That's an unusual term, right? So Rashi says, what does it mean? Love as a father means l'chaver, like a friend, like a colleague, a patron, like as a matron. Okay. In other words, God did all of this in order that I should be in the position I am now. So you're not the ones who, it's God's doings. Now he continues, Maharu, hurry, Ma'alu, and go up, El Avi, to my father, Ma'amar Tamelav, and say to him, Koi Amar, so says, Bincha, your son, Yosef, Samani Elikim Ladin, he has placed me, God, as a master, the whole Mitzrayim, and over the entire Egypt. Reda Eli, come down to me. Al Tamoid, do not stand. In others, don't delay, don't wait. Word means literally stand. It means in the context, don't delay. Rashi, Alu El Avi, go up to my father. Eretz Yisrael Gavoya Mikol Haarotzos. The land of Israel is higher than all other lands. Okay. Verse number 10. The Yashavta, and you should dwell, when you come up to Egypt, in other words, you should dwell Be'eretz Goshen, in the land of Goshen. V'hayitzi karavei, and you will be close to me. Ata, you, uvanecha, and your children, uvanei vanecha, and your children's children, v'tzoincha, and your sheep, v'karcha, and your cattle, chol asher lach, and all that is belonging to you. 11. And I will provide for you sham there. Ki oid chamesh shanim, because it's still another 5 years. Ra'av, there's going to be a rav, a famine. Pen tivaresh, lest you become destitute. Ata v'veisacha, you and your household, v'chol asher lach, and all that belongs to you. Rashi, pen tivaresh, dilma tismaskan. Unless you become destitute, Lashem Meirish or Maisher, it makes poor and makes rich. Okay. I'm not certain. Yeah, maybe we haven't had that word, so Rashi is explaining that word. I'm not certain if we've had that word yet. Maybe in another form we've had it, but I don't know if we've had it in this form. That's what Rashi is explaining to us what it means. Okay. Vihine, and behold, in verse number 12, Einechem, your eyes, ra'is, see, the Einei Achi, and the eyes of my brother, Binyamin, of Binyamin, ki pi hamidaber elechem, that it is my mouth that is speaking to you. Okay, what does this mean? Let's see Rashi. Hine einechem ra'is, behold your eyes see, echvaydi, my glory, she'eni achichem, that I am, she'ani achichem, that I'm your brother, she'ani mol kechem, I'm circumcised like you, va'oid, ki pi hamedaber alechem, because my mouth is speaking to you, but lashon kodesh, I'm speaking to you in the holy tongue. You didn't forget the holy tongue. The Eine Achi Binyamin, in the eyes of Binyamin, my brother Binyamin, Hishva es Kulam Yachad, he considered all of them together equal, Loimar, as if to say, Shekeshem, She'ein Li Sina al Binyamin Achi, just as I don't have any hatred towards my brother Binyamin, Share Lo Haya B'Mechiros, because he was not involved in my sale as a slave down to Egypt, Kach ein belibi sina. Likewise, I don't have any hatred in my heart, Aleichem, towards you. Why is Rashi saying that? Like he says, because why is he separating them? He wants to equate. I was seeing. The idea is here you see, to Binyamin, I have no issue with Binyamin, right? I have no issue with Binyamin. You see that? So likewise, I have no issue with you. That's what's hinted in those words. Okay. 13. Vayigash, and you shall tell over La'avi, to my father, is called Kvaidi, all of my honor in Mitzrayim, in Egypt. It's called Asher Yitzim, and all that you've seen. Mehartim, and hurry, Varadatim, and go down. El Avi Hena, go down to my father, down here. Okay. Repeating, I guess, emphasis to it. He was worried because his father, remember, was frail because he was worried, he lost his son Yosef. He's worried about that Binyamin's going to get lost. So he wants him to go very quickly. So so he's emphasizing it. Okay, very interesting next verse. Vayipol, and he fell. Al Tzavare, Yosef fell. Al Tzavare, on the neck, literally means the neck. Binyamin of Binyamin. Tzavare actually is plural. It's plural, on the necks. Yeah. You see, Rashi is going to say something, right? You can't fall on someone's necks, right?
No.
Only on a neck, right? I can't do both sides.
No.
Well, maybe that's the source for a French kiss. This side, that side. That's interesting. Right? So he fell on his neck, Vayef, and he cried. Binyamin, Bacha, and Binyamin cried, Al Tzavarav, on his neck, which is singular. So Rashi picks up on it. He fell on upon the brother Binyamin's neck and he wept. What did he cry about? Ashnei Mikdashes, on the two temples, Shasidim and Binyamin, that are going to be destined to be in the portion of Binyamin. The holy temple is in the portion of Binyamin and a little bit of Yehuda, right? So in the future, there's going to be two temples. And what's going to happen to them? They're going to be destroyed, right? They're going to be destroyed. The Seif and Licharim, and they're going to be destroyed. So that's what he was crying about. But Binyamin bacha al tzavarav, and Binyamin wept upon his neck, al mishkan Shiloi, for the tabernacle of Shiloi. So that's why it's necks, plural, right? Two temples, right? Two temples. But Binyamin, it's only on one neck because there's only in the portion of Joseph, when the Jews first came into Israel, they had Mishkan Shiloh. They had the tabernacle of Shiloh for 369 years there. So Binyamin was crying over the Mishkan Shiloh that was Shasi Liyos B'Chelka Shel Yosef. It's destined to be in the portion of Yosef. And the tribe of Ephraim is from Yosef. The Seif Licharav, and it too will be destroyed. Beautiful sikha from the Rebbe on this, but if we have time, we'll do it at the end. Very beautiful, fundamental. Okay, but Yinashek, and he kissed all of his brothers, and he cried upon them, and afterwards, Dibro Echav Itai. Afterwards, his brothers spoke with him. Rashi in 15. And afterwards, after they saw him crying, Libo Shalom Imahim, that his heart was whole with them, right? In other words, he had no hard feelings towards him. He was crying himself. Dibro Echav Itai. So then the brothers started to speak with him. Because in the beginning, they were very ashamed in front of him. Right? Which kind of makes sense.
I have to ease their shame.
Well, I mean, the fact that he cried, thank you. Where's your coffee, Roman? I don't want, not now. Thank you. All right, verse 16. Kel Nishma, and the voice was heard, Beis Parai, in the house of Parai, Lamor, saying, Ba'u, they came, Achi Yosef, the brothers of Yosef, V'yitav, and it was good Be'ene Parai, in the eyes of Parai, Be'ene Abadav, and the eyes of his servant. Rashi, Akol Nishma Beis Parai, the news was heard in the house of Parai, Kamei Beis Parai. And here it means literally in the house of Parai. Last time it meant not literally. Now it means literally. Verse 17. Ayemer Parai. And Parai said, El Yosef to Yosef, Emor El Achecha, say to your brothers, Zois also, this is what they should do. Tanu is Birchem, they should load their animals. Ulachun, they should go, Boar to Canaan, and go to the land of Canaan. Rashi, Biru. Tanu is Birchem. Load up your animals, Tvua with grain. I didn't say with what. Right. Load up with grain. Okay. Verse number 18. Uchu es avichem, and take for your father, ves batechem, and to your homes, ubo elai, and then come to me. Betna, and I will give you lachem to you, as tuv eretz Mitzrayim, the good of the land of Egypt. V'ichlu es chelev haaretz, and you'll be able to eat from the choicest of the land. Rashi in 18, as tuv eretz Mitzrayim, the best of the land of Egypt. Eretz Goshen, land of Goshen. Niba, Pharaoh prophesies. Vena Yedema Niba, what he was prophesying actually. Seifam, because in the end, the Jewish people would make a Soisa to make Egypt, Kimetula She'ein Ba Dagim, like a deep water that has no fish in it. In other words, it was all taken out. All of the riches were taken out. In other words, he didn't realize that that's what's going to happen, right? And when the Jewish people are going to leave Egypt, they're coming down to Egypt now. They're going to be 210 years in Egypt. 86 years are going to be in slavery. And they're going to come out with the best of the land. In other words, with the wealth of the land. That's what they're going to take with them when they leave. So Rashi's saying he prophesied without knowing what he prophesied. Interesting. What forces Rashi to say this explanation here? Why can't it just be the simple meaning that you're getting the best of the land, right? I don't know. You hear my question? Uh, what forces Rashi to say this explanation here? Like, just learn it simply. Oh, right? Oh, there's more here. It's interesting. Okay. Okay. Verse 19. Vata tzuvei and you are commanded, Zois also this you should do. Kulachem, take for yourselves, Me'eretz triumphant land of Egypt, agolos, wagons, the tapchem, for your small children, and the sheichem for your wives, and the sosim, and transport es avichem ubasim, and transport your father and come. Rashi atasve. So you are commanded, mipi, from my mouth, loimer lehem, to say to them. So it's also this is what they should do. Kach emor lehem. This is what you should say to them. B'rishusi hu, that this is with my permission. He's telling Yosef what he should say to the brothers, right? That's what it means over here. Okay, 20. Verse number 20. Ve'einchem al tachais. And let your eye not take pity, al kalechem, on your vessels. Kituv kol eretz Mitzrayim lachem. Because all of the good of the land of Egypt is for you. 21. Vasu Cain, Bnei Israel. And so they did, the sons of Israel. V'yiten lehem Yosef, and Yosef gave them agolis, wagons, al pi pare, according to pare, what he said to do. V'yiten lehem tzeda, laderech, and he gave them provisions for the journey. Lekulam nasan leish, chalifais, smolais, and to all of them he gave chalifais, a change of smolais, clothing. He gave him a change of clothing. Well, to Binyamin he gave 300 silver coins. Chalifais smolais, and 5 changes of clothes. For those who were here Sunday, we learned the sikha on that.
Huh.
How could Yosef continue what was done previously, that his father did more for him and made jealousy? Isn't he making jealousy over here? 23, Ulav Shalach, into his father he sent kazois like this, Asara Chamerim, 10 donkeys, Naisim, that are laden, Mituv, Mitzrayim, with all of the good from Egypt, Esra Sainis, 10 she-donkeys, noises bar, carrying grain, belechem and bread, umazin and food, laviv ladera to his father for the way back when he's going to travel back. Right? What? What? Shmuel, you don't here. Take mine. You don't have enough here. You have for everybody? Yeah. Okay.
Number are you at?
23. Verse 23. Yeah. Shalach gezois. Send like this. Kecheshben azeh, like this amount. Mahu acheshben. What is the amount? Asara chamot. 2 Mitzrayim, from the best of Egypt. Matzinu b'Talmud. We find in the Talmud, Shalach loy. Yayin Yashan, he sent him a vintage wine. Because minds of the elderly are calmed by it. Mijagada, and the Agadas is grease and shalpul, and split beans.
Do they cross out? You check me.
Bar Balechem, this should be understood, Kitarguma, according to Unkalet's grain and bread. Mamazain, lifting, relish, which is eaten with bread. Okay. 24. Yishalach is Echav, and he sent his brothers, V'yelchu, and they went. Vayemer aleim, and he said to them, Al tigizum baderach, do not be agitated on the way. Okay, Rashi picks up on this. Al tigizum baderach, don't be agitated on the way. Why? Al tisasku b'dvar halacha. Do not become involved in a matter of halacha. Shal tigaz aleichem baderach, that the trip should not become a source of agitation to you. In other words, I want you to return very quickly to your father. And if you're going to study on the way, that's going to prevent you from going quickly. So don't get involved in heavy duty learning on the way. Davar acher, an alternative explanation. Al tapsiyo psiagasta. Do not take long steps. Hikansub chamalir. When you enter a city to spend the night in sunlight while it is still daytime. In other words, I guess that you're going to come there early. Right? It's going to take him a few days to get there. Now they're going to go too quickly, that will impair them, and then that will be a difficulty. Well, if mikra, but now he gives the simple meaning. What is a simple meaning? We could say that it means because they were ashamed. He was worried. They're going to quarrel on the way. Concerning the sale of him. To dispute, to have a debate between all the brothers. One will say, because of you he was sold. Right? You spoke maliciously about him. That you caused us to hate him. Since each one had a hand in some way, right? So they're all going to argue, well, yeah, you did this, so that caused that, da, 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 da. So don't do that on the way. Yalu Mitzrayim, and they went up in verse 25. They went up from Egypt, Eretz Canaan, and they came to the land of Canaan. El Yaakov Abiyim, to Yaakov their father. Verse 26. Yagidu Lai Lamar, and they said to him, saying, Oid Yosef Chai. Still, Yosef is alive. Chihu Meishel, he is the ruler, B'chol Eretz Mitzrayim, over the whole land of Egypt. Wow. Vayafag Libai, his heart turned, because he didn't believe them. Yeah, I guess something too true, too good to believe. 26 in Rashi. Ki hu Maishel, that he is, Asher hu Maishel, that he is a ruler. Yavak Libay, and his heart turned. Nechlav Libay, his heart was transferred. V'halach min lahamnin, and he went from believing. Haya Liba Paine al Dvarim. His heart did not turn to the words. Lashem Mafigim Taman. Yavak relates to the word, their flavor turn. Lashem Mishnah. Kamameina mafugais. Rechalei gamar. Targumim. Rechalei pug. Just giving different usages of the word. So it was, yeah, it was too much for him. 27. Last verse, V'yidabru Elam, and he spoke to him. It's called Yosef, all of the words of Yosef, Asher Diver Alehem, that he spoke to them. V'yara HaGolos, and he saw the Agolos. The Agolos, he saw the wagons. Asher Shalach Yosef, that Yosef sent. La say to transport him. B'tchi ruach Yaakov avim, and the spirit of Yaakov was revived. So Rashi picks up on over here, right? Es divrei Yosef, the words of Yosef. Simin Masar Lehem. Yosef gave his brothers a sign. B'meh haya Isaac, and what study were they involved in? Kishiperash mimenu, when he separated from Yaakov. The Parshas Egla Rufa. They were learning the calf that was with a neck is broken. Yeah, when you find a corpse and you don't know who's the murderer, so you figure out which is the closest town, city, and the sages of that city have to come there and take an egla roof, and they take a egel and near the water, and they and it's brought as so to say as an atonement for the sin of this person that was killed, and we don't know who the killer is, so there can't be any, right? So that's what they were learning, this law, right? And that's when it says in the verse that he saw, he saw the wagons. So Rashi explains the deeper meaning. He saw the wagons, that he was, told by the brothers, this is what you learned with him, right? That's what you learned with him before he was sold into slavery. He saw the wagons of Yosef, it sent. But it doesn't say the Pare said. Ah, right. So Rashi picks it up because who was the idea to send wagons? It was Paro's idea, right? It was not Yosef's idea. But the verse says that Yosef had sent. So therefore, Rashi is saying that's to tell us he was sending him the message that the last thing we spoke about was the word wagons and egla roof are the same word. It's a different meaning, wagon and right. Egel, like the cheta egel, the sin of the golden calf. So it's a calf. Egla, calf. I don't know what the connection is. Truth is, I don't know what the connection is because it doesn't seem to be a connection. It's the same word. So from seeing the wagons, the egla, let's put it the word egla, right? That Yosef sent, which were not sent by him. Rashi saying, what was sent by Yosef? A message that this is what we learned. Last thing we learned before. I was to give him, clear indication that he's alive. Like I remember what we learned before I was sold into slavery. Right? Yaakov, and the spirit of Yaakov, his father, was revived. Shar saw Allah Shechina, the Shechina, divine presence of God, rested upon him. That had departed, or it had departed from him.
Working back.
What?
Joy came back so the divine presence could return.
Yeah. Okay. Honey, coming up.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, we're gonna have the Sikha on this maybe tomorrow.